The Go Radio Football Show with Burger King. Watch live at 5 p.m. weekdays on YouTube. Join the conversation on 0808 17 17 700. Talking Scottish football first.
Good evening. Rangers and Celtic cancel out each other at Ibrox yesterday 2-2 in an engrossing 95 minutes. What did you make of it? 0808 17 17 700. Hearts and Motherwell are the beneficiaries. Hearts are now just 6 points clear of Rangers, 8 ahead of Celtic. Celtic with a game in hand, and Motherwell are still in there as well. With us tonight on that number, Charlie Mulgrew is here, a man of many Old Firm games and a man who's about to celebrate a milestone in a couple of days' time. So it's your last time to see him on YouTube in his 30s. And also Mark Guidi. Mark, what about that yesterday? How do you sum it up?
I thought you were going to say anything but in his 30s for me. What a game. The old cliche, Paul, a game of two halves. Rangers fantastic in the first half, 2 incredible goals, particularly the first one. One of the best there's ever been in Scottish football. And then you have Celtic making those changes, Hitati and Tenetke getting Celtic onto the front foot and taking the game to Rangers. And I think a draw was just about the right result. But I think it leaves Rangers, for me, Paul, I think they're out of it. I think Rangers have gone unless they win every game. And for Celtic, there's next to no margin of error. Hearts very much in the driving seat. 12
draws for Rangers. It's the last 8 games Rangers haven't won. Charlie, from a Celtic point of view, look, by half time, it's never over at half time, but my goodness, no shots on target.
Yeah, it was a bad performance. The worst I've seen against Rangers in a long time, Paul. I didn't see what Celtic were trying to do. I felt they had absolutely zero control in the game. They had one shot, I think, and it wasn't on target. They had no threat defensively. They looked all over the place. But credit to Rangers. Danny Rowe went with his strongest team. In my opinion, he feels that's his strongest team with the strongest formation. And they caused Celtic all sorts of problems. But then you just knew that when the half-time whistle came and Celtic, Martin O'Neill got them in there, he would make his changes and have a word, and he done that. And Celtic come back and completely dominated in the second half. I think they ended up with 17 shots, so 16 shots in the second half. Made Butland work. And managed to get back into the game and probably deservedly a draw. But how Rangers went from such a strong performance to then backs to the walls was quite incredible. Credit to Celtic for the fight back, but they can't continue to play bit parts in games and play half of games. But Rangers, a lot of credit goes to them for the first half display, but again, not enough to get it over the line.
Who is going to win the title? You heard Mark saying he thinks for Rangers. Excuse me. That's it's a bitter blow. And they could. Nobody's out of it. We know that. But Mark's opinion is Rangers are probably not going to win it now.
Hearts are the favourites. It's Hearts' title to lose now. They're big. I'm amazed at the table at this time of the year. Really, really surprised. But it's Hearts' title. It's they're in the driving seat. They've got 6 points. They're 6 points clear of Rangers. Celtic will go to Aberdeen tomorrow, a difficult game. So to make it 5 points to Hearts, and that's still a long way back. Celtic and Rangers have got all to do. Hearts, it's their title to lose.
Mark, did Rangers get it wrong second half? And Martin O'Neill in the first half, the team, he must have been by half time thinking, my goodness, what am I going to do? In fact, let's hear from him. He spoke about half time, what he was thinking.
Absolutely. You have to take control of the game. And and as I said to you, we were second best. There's no point in prolonging that we were. But the second half really belonged to us. And we were terrific. And then what happens is, of course, you start... the crowd start to get concerned about their own team's performance. We are in the ascendancy, and we played really, really well in the second half. And you need determination. You need all of these particular adjectives to go and do it. But we played some really great stuff in the second half, wave after wave, and this is at Ibrox as well too. So that. It gives us more heart.
The Rangers fans are thinking, what happened? They blew Celtic away in the first half. If it had gone 3, it probably would have been it.
Yeah, I mean, there would have been no way back. Paul had Rangers got the third goal, but they didn't. It's 4 draws in the last sort of 4 weeks or so. Hibs, Motherwell, Livingston, Celtic. You're dropping 8 points. I think Danny Rowe's in-game management in terms of substitutions, tactic, has to be questioned. It was the same at Motherwell when Motherwell went down to 10 men. It's the same yesterday. He's been questioned. I questioned his team selection, his actual starting 11 for the game against Hibs the few days after Porto, when it seemed to be that because at that time, I think if Rangers won the league, they'll get guaranteed entry into the Champions League. They put more emphasis on the Porto game rather than, well, no. It's like Rangers yesterday. They cruised the first half, but I think Rangers have gone off at half-time thinking it's job done. And it's not done. It's not done until the final whistle. It's not done until you're handed the trophy. And I think there was partly a case of maybe just celebrating too early and taking things for granted too soon. And Celtic made them pay the price for that. So right now, Paul, I've always said 84, I think, will get you the title. Rangers would need to win their next 9 games. Well, there are only 9 left. They would need to take 27 out of 27. If Celtic don't win on Wednesday night at Pittodrie, I think it's game over for Celtic as well. I think there's next to no margin of error, and that would need to be that Hearts would be dropping 6 points, 2 defeats, or dropping 7 points, a defeat and 2 draws, which, by the way, could be done because you look at the fixtures between now and the end of the season. There's no gimmies, Paul. Genuinely, there are no gimmies home and away, but my goodness, what an advantage Hearts have for themselves with they've got 9 games to go. They are in a fantastic position.
Charlie, what about that drop off from Rangers? Let's hear Danny Rule. He was asked about it afterwards.
There's also opponent. They I think they stepped also up then in the second half, and it's what I try to describe. There's a momentum, and momentum in a game influence some individual performances. Then you lose 2 or 3 times the ball. You cannot bring the next pass to your teammate, and that takes a little bit more the trust and the belief from your own performance. But we will take the first 45 minutes as a role model, but we have to improve the second half, of course.
Charlie, what do you make of it?
I feel that a team's always, no matter who you play against, have a spell in the game. So Celtic were always going to have a spell and have a reaction. Rangers started the second half really well, and probably Romans was a good chance that would have probably killed the game off, or certainly made it a lot harder for Celtic. They didn't take it. Celtic then come back in there, and then I think Danny Role, for me, evidence shows that he's a manager that's very good at coaching out of possession. He seems to have tightened things up for Rangers since he's come in, and that's led to a lot of draws. And when things get really hard and a team coming top of you, Rangers seem to sink back. They've done it against Motherwell at the end. They went into a back 5, I think, sunk right back, allowed Motherwell back into the game. I think that's maybe a wee flaw on the Rangers side. Rangers look like they could have went on and scored at 1.3 and 4 and 5, and you're thinking this could be anything here, and then ends up 2 each. It's quite remarkable. Credit to Celtic. You had the feeling Martin O'Neill would have the chat, but Rangers sort of just kind of stopped playing and think they could, like Mark said, maybe subconsciously thought we can see this 2-0 out and this would be a big result, or even 2-1. And you can't do that. You need to keep playing. You need to try and get the third. As well, having one eye on the defensive side, you need to take part in the game going forward. And Rangers didn't do enough of that. They sank back in and allowed Celtic far too much control.
Here's Paul, I think was at the game, a big Rangers fan. Hi, Paul. Good evening. Hi, Paul.
Hi, Paul. Thanks
Paul.
a lot.
So, no bother. Hi, Paul.
Hi, Paul.
Fuming in the sense that a red flag for me is that's one of the worst Celtic teams I've seen. They're at the weakest point, and I think I'm factually saying that. Do you know what I mean? They are at the weakest point. And we can't put them away. I mean, the first half is one of the best halves I've seen against Celtic in many a year, and I go way before Gerrard and all that. We completely blew them away. It could have been 5-0, easy at half time, easy. And if we'd got that third goal, because the old saying is 2-0 is a dangerous score, like. But it proved that. I said to my mate at half time, I said, we can't take the foot off the gas. And I thought for the first 5 minutes of the second half, I thought, good, we're doing quite well. I agreed with Danny Rowe about 50 minutes, but that's criminal. And Mark pointed out we've dropped points against Livingston, blah, blah, blah. You won't win the league. And a red flag to me is we've spent a fortune. Andrew Calvin and the 49ers have backed Danny Rowe in the January transfer window. I know it's a difficult window. I'm not saying sacking the guy or anything. I'm not nuts like that, right? But if we can't put Celtic away in the state they're in, with how much money we've spent now, what does that say for moving forward? Because Celtic aren't going to stand still unless they're still the board's playing whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Sure. Mark, what would you say?
Yeah,
to
the
Paul?
Managerial factor.
You can hear it. Paul's absolutely gutted.
No, and rightly so. You know that Fernandes is ahead to make it 3-0. I'm not blaming Fernandes, but yeah, it's another example of Rangers not getting the job done. That's why they've not been champions in 5 years. You know, the Philippe Clement's team had a great chance to put Celtic away, and they blew it. They had a chance yesterday to put Celtic away, and they've blown it. I think it now leaves Rangers off the pace. I'd be very, very surprised now if Rangers win the league, whereas 2-3 weeks ago I'd probably had them as favourites.
You did actually.
So no, I understand Paul, and he's right about the board. You know, you look at Andrew Kavanagh and the hierarchy. They spent 10 million in January and a loan fee for Skov Olsen. Resisted maybe selling Gassama, resisted Chermiti, resisted Raskan.
Right.
So they've backed him. I mean, and every board has backed every manager. The only guy who didn't get financial support because he decided to rein it in, enough was enough, was Giovanni Van Bronckhorst, and that eventually cost him his job. They didn't back him in the summer, and he was sacked 4 months later. But when you compare what the Rangers board did for Danny Rowe a month ago and compare it to what the Celtic board didn't do for Martin O'Neill, it's night and day. And another stat, Paul, just about Celtic, and when Paul's talking about Celtic being there for the taking and one of the worst Celtic teams, can't argue with that either. It's Martin O'Neill that's getting them out of hole. Celtic have now played Rangers and Hearts, a combination of 6 games, Paul, in the league. 18 points up for grabs. Against Rangers and Hearts, Celtic have taken 3 points out of 18. 3 draws. They have not beaten Rangers or Hearts in the league this season. 3 points out of 18, and they're still in the mix. And that backs up Paul's point about this Celtic team being average at best.
Wow.
Celtic.
Okay, just Charlie first. Paul.
For me, for me, that was the first time in a while I've seen a Rangers team against Celtic where you think, oh no, the tide is changing in terms of you're looking at a Rangers team that can go and batter Celtic here. And 2-0 for 30 minutes, I was praying for half time, thinking, get inside, get Martin O'Neill, a couple of changes. This isn't happening. And you're right, Paul, for them Rangers not to put Celtic to bed at that point, and Celtic he came back in it, which I felt they would for some reason, because what they've done this year, a lot of time they've came back. Rangers, his chance was to start that second half, was to go again, which they'd started all right, take your chances. Even if not, Celtic have a wee 10-minute spell, you need to then go again. Well, that's subs for Danny Rowe, whether a message gets on to the pitch, whatever it is, you need to go again and try and put Celtic to the sword, but they didn't do that, and that is a telling trait of Rangers that shows that they are they're not as good as they should be.
Paul, it's his in-game management. I'll tell you, Motherwell, we were 1-0 up against 10 men. Now we could have put him to bed. We should have put him to bed, right? Then he plays defensive.
You dropped off. I remember.
I'll take the 1-0. We did it with Celtic. He took Ryan Nadiri off, who was playing all right, with the shape and everything else. He takes him off. Now he puts them up, Diamante on. The reason being, he's went, I'll accept 2-0, or I'll accept 2-1 at a time. That is poor. There's no other word for it. We were, like Charlie said, we had Celtic rattled. I looked at Callum McGregor's face throughout one of the first half. He was rattled. Yep. But Celtic didn't know what had hit them. The atmosphere was there, and by the way, Paul, I'm a bit disappointed as the Rangers fans overall.
In what way?
I'll tell you why, because I was at the game. Well, we went 2-1 down, right? Celtic scored and made it 2-1. See the first half, see the atmosphere, Paul? It was going back to like the RB Leipzig where we blew them off. We beat them before the semi-final started. And it was the same with Celtic. The atmosphere was incredible, it was electric. See when it went to 2-1, we let ourselves down, but we went all flat. I don't know why, because the board have done a great job doing the Your Voice Matters and all that stuff going on. We had a title there to win.
Is that lack of confidence, a mentality?
Yeah. Well, this time last year, the 3-each game I was there, and well, we know what happened there. We blew it within the first minute.
Yeah, sure.
That's a mentality thing. I heard Danny Rowe say, it's not about mentality. I'm sorry, but it is mentality, because that wouldn't have happened under Walter Smith. Maybe it not even happened under Gerrard, maybe. But that is a mentality issue, because if you can't put away the likes of Livingston, who I know are fighting for their lives in games, a hard game as well. But Paul, as you know, you've been in the game, you've done the media for that many years. To win leagues, you have to bury teams like that when you're in that. See, throwing that 2 points away, It's thrown it away.
Did it feel like a
Thrown
defeat?
it away.
It must have for the Rangers fans. It must have felt.
It's the same with
Wow.
Motherwell.
Yeah.
It's the same with Motherwell. See if you'd asked me before the Motherwell game, Paul, 1 each against Motherwell, I'd have taken that. But see when you're 1-0 up with 10 men, with minutes to go, and you throw it away, that's a defeat. And he doesn't get that.
Yeah.
I don't, if Danny Rowe, if I've seen Danny Rowe, I'd say you don't get that. You can come over and talk to the fans and all that. And I think he's done an incredible job pulling us where we were under Russell Martin and all of that. But he's done what Philippe Clement did. And I said in your show, Paul, if you rewind it back, the acid test is always Celtic, Hearts or Aberdeen, these types of games. And so far, he's blew it against Hearts at Tynecastle.
Yep.
He blew it against Rangers, Celtic
No,
at Ibrox.
we know the story.
It's
Sure. Yeah.
And I don't care about next week, Paul. I don't want the Scottish Cup.
Oh. You want the league? You've only it'd be one in. I know you've had one in 15 years. Paul, thank you so much for calling. There's loads coming in. 0808 17 17 700. Duncan is on the line. Hi, Duncan. Good evening.
Hi guys.
Hi, Duncan.
Hi, Duncan.
And you're a Hibs fan.
I'm a Hibs fan, aye.
Okay. Yeah. So what do you want to say?
What? I'm not hearing Martin O'Neill complaining about VAR this week, like he did last week.
Right. And what's your point?
It's as simple as it.
Yep.
Well, he was on. Do the Old Firm only complain when the decisions go against them?
All right. Listen, that's a good question, Duncan. Stay with us. This is what he said afterwards. He was asked on Sky, what about VAR this time?
If that was the case, and it was flagged up to handball, and VAR has done it, then that is delightful. My point last week was that if the referee, if it's clear and obvious decision that they have to make to overturn, that is absolutely fine. But my point was last week was that if the referee has stood and seen something, then it does, I use the word debilitating, but it doesn't really matter, I can't find another word for it. It's only because the referee starts to think, well, am I refereeing the game here? But that was great, and if in fact it was a handball, then it was the right decision.
Mark, it's a good question, but the answer came from Martin O'Neill.
It's a good question from Duncan, but really every manager's the same. Are you truly expecting Martin O'Neill to complain about the officials when they've flagged up? And by the way, what a spot by Stephen McLean and Kevin Clancy in the VAR room. What a spot, an incredible spot by them. So, every manager's the same. Duncan, when VAR goes for them, they'll say, yep, great. If it doesn't go for them, they moan about it. That's what happens at full time in most games when VAR gets involved. I'm sure there'll be instances of David Gray being the same. 1 week, VAR's been great, that was a good spot. Other week, well, I'm not so sure, we were a bit hard done today, why is VAR getting involved? I get that, that's the nature of refereeing, that's the nature of VAR. But I don't think you're being serious if you're expecting Martin O'Neill to complain about the VAR decision yesterday.
Duncan, how are you feeling about things? It looks as though the title could go to Edinburgh. From your point of view, it's not coming to Leith. It looks like Gorgie.
Well, I hope no. There's a long way to go. But just on the point the guy made there, it's not just, and I get that managers say VAR's this or VAR's that. It's the coverage that Martin O'Neill gets. It's the West Coast media firing on it. Now, the point is that the ref was standing 5 yards away from the decision last week, and he thought, Ken what? I'm at Parkhead. I'm in front of 60,000 fans. I'll just have a word with him. When he got it wrong, he's plainly got it wrong, or he wouldn't have sent him off. Well, and that's the problem.
Yeah, Martin O'Neill's point was he was close to it, happens all the time, nothing to see here. I mean, Trusty was a bit over the top. I think he was, right? But it happens all the time, Duncan. Every single game. So,
no, it doesn't.
And that,
no, it doesn't.
well, okay, but Martin O'Neill's point
no,
was...
it doesn't. It doesn't.
Okay.
Kim, what?
Martin O'Neill's point is the referee saw that last week, whereas, see, yesterday, nobody saw it. Everyone thought that was, what a save.
Well, that's fair enough, but the point is, the ref didn't get it because he's at Parkhead.
You think there's a fear of giving decisions against Celtic and Rangers, Duncan?
Well, how can he then go?
No, by the way, I agree with you. I think there is.
How can he then go to the screen?
I think there is a fear. Yeah, I think there is a fear.
Do you, Mark? Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a fear now and again. I also think, having watched football, Paul, like yourself, all different games involving all different teams, up and down the country, and I've said it many times in the show, the standard of refereeing just isn't that good. Like, I'm sure Duncan, I'm sure if you spoke to Stephen Presley, to Stephen Robinson, to Neil McCann, to David Martindale, Martin Bartlett, they'd all have gripes about referees and about VAR. It's not just exclusive to Celtic and Rangers, but Duncan's point is right as well. When a Celtic or a Rangers manager or a Celtic or a Rangers player highlights something, the media coverage, they get more than any other club. That's just the way it is. Sure. That said, in the Edinburgh Evening News, Duncan, Hearts and Hibs will get more than a fair share of coverage. Sure. But I remember Alec McLeish telling us, Duncan, he left Hibs, the manager of Hibs, and he went to manage Rangers back in 2001. You remember it. And I remember speaking to Alec a few months after he joined Rangers. He said, it's funny, he says, I'm the manager of Hibs. He says, I could have a media conference and I'll speak for half an hour. He said, I'll get 10 paragraphs in the paper the next day. I said, I'm the manager of Rangers, I speak for 1 minute, it's a back page story and it's 2 pages inside. That's just what happens.
Well, aye, all right, aye.
It is. Duncan.
If I wasn't a Hibs supporter, I would quite happily see Hearts win the league, but unfortunately I am a Hibs fan. So, but it's Celtic and Rangers think they're entitled to win everything.
Well, maybe
I think there's a bit of you that wants Hearts to win the league. I'm sensing for you, Duncan.
No, 100% no. There's nothing wants me to see Hearts win the league. I didn't want to see Craig Levine with a big grin on his face.
What's it, the natural order? Remember that one? That must have driven you
exactly.
nuts. Listen,
exactly.
Charlie Mulgrew doesn't want it to happen either, because he's going to go and have a drink in Gorgie Road. Yeah.
All right, good luck with that, Charlie.
Hey, listen, what about Hibs? 89th minute, you go 3-2 up at Dundee. 95th minute, Congreve scores, and you surrendered 2 points yet again.
Yet again, aye.
You are
what's that doing?
You're the doctor. You're the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde of Scottish football, aren't you?
Is that doing to the manager, or is that doing to the players?
What do you feel?
Well, I think it's a bit of both, but surely the manager's got to hold on a minute. How are we losing so many late goals? Is it his substitutions?
I just saw the highlights. I don't know.
The buck stops with the manager. Ultimately, no matter what happens on that pitch.
Well, I personally thought Dundee were the better side on Saturday.
Yeah. Well, I didn't see the full game, but as happened.
Unfortunately, I was there, but there you go.
Yeah.
Right, I need to go, guys.
All right, Duncan. Thank you. Hey, Duncan, you've had your tea. Great to have you here on Glasgow's Own. Great to hear the Edinburgh accent there, isn't it? 0808 17 17 700. Charlie, you getting ready for that visit through? Have you got security ready?
Hearts is there. It's Hearts is there to lose, Paul. It's their title to lose.
Does that mean you think they're going to win it, or is that it's theirs to lose?
The bookies doesn't often lie, and that they're odds on at the bookies. So you would be, it's theirs it's their title. They've got one hand on it.
Is that 22 weeks mark at the top of the table for the Hearts? It's phenomenal.
No, look, I wasn't strong. I remember being on with Charlie maybe about 4 months ago, maybe about October time, and the Hearts were at the top, and I said, I'm not saying the Hearts are going to win it. What I'm saying is they're not going away. They're not going away. So, because Celtic and Rangers, they dropped, particularly Celtic at that point. Rangers were next to nowhere, maybe just getting rid of Russell Martin and bringing in Danny Rowe, but you could tell Celtic weren't the Celtic of what they'd been, so they were there for the taking. So I thought, no, Hearts won't go away, because they'll go for it in the January window if they're still involved. And they have. They've still got Shankland to come back. They've still got Cammy Devlin to come back. So I think Hearts are in a really, really strong place.
What a weekend it was. We haven't even mentioned the mighty Well. Motherwell winning 2-0. Maswanisi, 21 goals. What's going to happen? You'll miss nothing here and go. We're back next.
Football Show with Burger King.
Charlie Mulgrew is with me, Paul Cooney and Mark Guidi tonight. Charlie wouldn't have been here. You were going to be going to the Middle East to celebrate your birthday at the weekend. Thank goodness you're here and safe, and we hope that so many people, that things calm down and people are okay, because we know so many people who are there either in Dubai or somewhere in the UAE affected by the escalation.
Yeah, I was surprised. I heard about it, and I was going to fly out tonight, Paul, but I heard about the stuff in Saturday, and obviously your first thoughts are people that you know maybe there, and a couple of people are there for a kind of Celtic, a Scotland-England Legends match. Right. Simon Donnelly and that's over there, so you're always sort of hoping that everybody's okay and everydy's safe in the country, and thankful I never flew in earlier.
Yep. Charlie, at 40, it's a big number, isn't it? But you've
Mental,
been...
I know.
I mean, what a life so far. Yeah.
40 or halfway. They see you're halfway in it.
Well, I hope
Halfway,
not.
roughly.
I hope it's... listen, these days, Charlie, somebody like you, young fit man, you'll be... God
Living
willing,
but
you'll go
people
on for
say,
some
but
time.
then Paul,
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
say you'd like to live to your 90 or an extra
Yeah.
10 years. And that's if your extra 10 years was your 30s, your 40s. You don't want an extra 10 year at 90, do you?
Yeah. Depends
Depends how healthy you are.
Exactly.
Quality
Look
of
after
life.
yourself. Look at you, fit man. You're always playing golf.
Somebody bathing you at 90-year-old. Don't fancy that.
Depends who's bathing you.
Well, that's interesting.
That takes us nicely to the break.
It's happy birthday, Charlie. 40 years young. Go Radio
Want to
Football
be 90
Show
now?
with Burger King. It's not the Wednesday Whopper tonight, it's Monday. 0808 17 17 700. Somebody help me out here. Right, Danny Rule. Danny, que pasa? What happened? I mean, half time. Is it true? Was Tori Andrew Flo there doing the halftime draw? And he was saying that his first game had been the 5-1 game, which was one that Barry played in. And he was talking about it and saying 5-1, what a win that was for Rangers. Celtic had won 6-2 earlier that season. And I think he was saying, oh, actually, it might even be 5-0 the way Rangers were going. And you wouldn't have been surprised if that was the case.
No, Paul, the half-time whistle couldn't have came quick enough. Yeah. Rangers were absolutely dominant. Balls were in the box constantly. Celtic were all over the place defensively. Romans up that left-hand side against Yang. Yang was chasing shadows. Romans looked a top player. The areas he was getting into, the deliveries he was making. Mikey Moore was running by people that they weren't there. It was a real impressive performance for Rangers, and I thought that's the second time they've had Danny Roll's signings on the pitch all at the same time, kind of in the formation he likes, and I thought, real strong outfit. So it could have been. You can understand why he would potentially think that, getting at half-time 2-0 and then Celtic come back in it.
The old head of Martin O'Neill up against young Danny. I'd see the spit of the spat continued. I was surprised before the game on Sky, and we heard the news that Sinisalo was in.
Yeah.
And
I'm surprised McCowan didn't play.
Yeah,
that's what I thought. I thought he'd done well against Stuttgart. I thought he earned his spot in the team.
He'd given so much, maybe he was
potentially
tired.
He was tired. I don't know, but he's not played a lot of football, so you don't. If anything, that would have sharpened him up for Thursday night. Rested enough to get into Sunday. I'd like to see McCowan starting. Atati surprised me when he came on. How much better he looked than he has in recent times. Nygren took one off his toes at the edge of the box when he was about to hit it out, and you just thought Atati waiting for the net to bulge if he hits that with his technique on his right foot. But yeah, Sinisalo deserved his chance. I think he's probably earned his spot for Aberdeen as well. He's got to put a string a few performances to gain the trust of the manager, you'd imagine. Yeah, Schmeichel needed a wee bit of time at the team, I think. Yeah. I think with confidence and injury, and sometimes you just need to be taking that decision out of your hands, and Sinisalo deserves an opportunity. So it was a better reaction for Celtic. I sit here, Paul, and I think people say, well, should Atati have started, or should this one have started, or that one have started? I don't think that would have changed the first half performance.
Okay.
I don't think that was... I think that was a... I don't know what the issue was, but I don't think it was a personnel issue. I don't, because Atati's been in plenty of performances like that for Celtic. I don't know. Celtic they don't seem to be starting games great, or having large spells in games where they look poor and then they're completely flipping it around. But you need to have a 90-minute or at least a 70, 80-minute performance in a game to dominate it, to get over the line. I don't think Celtic are doing anywhere near enough in games to consistently go on a run, and that's what scares me with Celtic.
I know what you mean about that. No matter who they played, they may have been overrun in that first half. Do you want to hear from both managers? And then, because for Rangers fans, they'll be talking about the Trimity first goal for years, and the second one. I heard Neil Lennon saying it on the telly that it was Larsson-esque. I mean, I watched it again, but as just a punter, the first one was so spectacular. It was a magnificent goal, but the second one was special as well. Here's Danny Rule. He was actually saying the first half for Rangers would be their benchmark.
I think it's not just Yusuf. We played the first 15 minutes outstanding football from all of us. I think that was, for me, it's really the new benchmark. This should be our game. This should be our future, how we want to play, how we want to dominate teams that are around us, and we have to learn from this. It's more than just 45 minutes, 50 minutes. I think all the supporters, all of us, we can be disappointed, but we will not giving up any chance for more this season.
Mark, That first half. What about the Chermiti goal, the first one?
That's a sensational goal. I mean, to get that power. I mean, it's one of the ones, blink and you'll miss it. The cross came over, and just to get his timing so spot on. To produce the acrobatics to get your connection spot on, and it absolutely flew past Sinisalo. I mean, absolutely flew past him. It was an incredible goal, and goals like that, it's all down to opinion. It's not factual what's been the best ever or whatever it may be. All you can say, that's up there, and that goal was good enough to grace any game on any stage in any fixture.
Charlie?
It was some goal. I was shocked to get his leg up there. I know he's athletic and he's powerful to get up there, but to make the connection, you see a lot of people going for the overhead kick, but to keep your eye on the ball and make that timing and the connection, and the way he did was top class technique, and deserves all the plaudits it's getting.
Have you been analysing it with Kevin Thompson on your own podcast? What was his take on it? Give it a wee trip.
Listen, everybody says, it's one of the best goals I've seen in a Celtic Rangers game. It's top class. It'll be shown for years. Didn't expect it for Chermiti, I must admit. I think you've seen some of the fans go face behind the goal. They look shocked.
Do we owe him an apology? And Kevin Thelwell, not just us, everybody.
No, I don't think. I still stand here and I don't think he's can be. What I think helps him, Paul, is having a strike partner, Nadiri. When you look at the ball coming in, Nadiri's occupying defenders. Scales has been dragged out to block the cross. Celtic are all over the place, but nonetheless, another striker beside him causes a bit of distraction. Allows Chermiti to have one defender to go up against instead of having two when he's up there himself. So I think that it helps him having a distraction, another striker, and that's the evidence I see. Anytime he's done well or played his best against Hearts, now against Celtic, he's had Nadiri beside him. So I think one of us said it before, Rangers, to have Chermiti up top himself for the rest of the season, I don't think's enough for Rangers. I still stand by it. I think he needs Nadiri beside him to help him, but he has shown a lot of qualities now that he now just needs to get the consistency into it to then kick on. But he can take nothing away from him.
And what about the second goal then? And you feel for, as a defender and a Celtic legend, you felt for young Dane.
Dane, come on to his left foot. The one's bouncing in front of you is a horrible ball to take on your. You just need to kind of, rather than attacking it when the ball's got a pace in it, you just need to kind of make contact and get it that direction, which is hard. It's hard in the pressure cooker at Ibrox, but that's his job and he needs to deal with it. That's his chance to get in the team. He didn't deal with it. And then Chermiti, the bit of know-how to get his foot wrapped round Arojo, kind of usher him out the way, knock it back, and then a wee back flick is top class striker play. He's obviously confident for the first goal. You see that in the second goal. Great goals, and it's not good enough from Dane Murray, although he showed a good attitude to respond in the second half and stayed on the pitch and really stuck to his task.
Second goal, Mark, what did you make of it? And Neil Lennon's comments, and you hear Charlie as well.
He's treated Arujo as if he's not there. Arujo's got the opportunity to clear. He's slightly hesitant though. Does he jump up and head it, just get a wee flick on it, or does he then sort of spin round and try and hook it away? And he managed to do neither. And Chermiti's used that imposing frame that he has, that stature that he has, but for a big man as well, the lovely deft touch, to nick it off Arujo, and then the lovely wee finish as well to leave Sinisalo with no chance. So when you assess the two goals, those two goals are worthy of winning an Old Firm game. For him, you think, that's your moment. He had his moment as well at Celtic Park earlier in the year and against Hearts a couple of weeks ago. So he's played his part yesterday. It's between the manager and his teammates where they've not got it together. They've not put the full package together for 90 minutes. And just go to show people, never take anything for granted. I just get the feeling that Rangers come off the pitch at half time thinking it's job done, and it's never job done. It's never job done. Ask Charlie. Charlie's won titles, won big games. You don't celebrate until the final whistle goes. And I think Rangers just took their eye off the ball and Celtic punished them.
Here's Martin O'Neill. He was asked what he said at half-time.
Contrast to quite a number of years ago, I am relatively calm in the dress. If it had been the old team, I would have gone absolutely ballistic. But the old team, like this team, find a way, and they come roaring back. They showed a bit of determination, a bit of heart, and that's been the case. I think the side are champions. They were champions. They're defending it. Generally speaking, it's been, they've been in cruise control for the last couple of months of each season. This is a difficult thing. This has been really difficult. We've been chasing the whole way through, and that will remain the case. But they showed this determination today, which I know that they have, because we've been doing that there for weeks.
Is it going to be enough to take them over the line, Charlie? What do you feel? I know we joke with you about Hearts, but what's your honest feeling?
My honest feeling is that Celtic need to show more performance-wise over a longer period of time. I go back to that Dundee United game when Martin O'Neill first came back.
Yeah, you loved that. Yeah,
and they were excellent. It was like Celtic of old. This season, they've not shown it enough. Certainly in recent times, they've not showed it anywhere near enough. They showed something close to the second half at Ibrox, but need to show this for 70, 80 minutes. Get a team, get early goals, put them to bed, and I'm just waiting for that to start.
With Europe out the way, is that a help for them now? I know they've got midweek at Aberdeen, but
you're hoping it does. It does start to show. They have got a midweek at Aberdeen, but they need to now. They need to go and put these performances, because over time you'll have your bad performances and you can nick results, but you can't keep scoring last minute goals or coming back for 2-0 down and winning games. It's just no sustainable. You need to get a bit of comfort in games where you're up 2-0 or 3-0 and you can make a few subs, go into the next game and continuously put a string of results together. But Celtic, they don't fill me with any confidence at the moment with the performances, although I wouldn't be surprised if they get into a run, but right now I just don't feel confident that they're going to go on a run of good performances matched with results.
Mark, it was his birthday yesterday, but the first half he must have thought, oh my goodness. I saw in his quotes, he said actually they had a celebration the night before, and he said they brought the cake out at 7:30. He said there's no guarantee I'd make it till midnight, which is quite funny, which is when his birthday was. But look, it happened. What do you reckon? Other players that can stand up? What have we found? I mean, Junior, maybe no harm to him, but you wouldn't expect him to start Wednesday, would you?
No, I mean, if Celtic are going to win it, Paul, and I think, they're probably going to have to win the last 10 games to get to 85 points to be champions, and even then, there's no guarantee. But I don't even think there's room. I'd be very surprised if there's room to even drop 2 points, like a draw. So you're looking at 10 wins in a row, which is an incredibly tall order, almost impossible, to be honest. And they're going to have to do it really without a top drawer number 9. That's the situation they find themselves in. We spoke about the importance of number 9s during the window, and Celtic brought 2 in, 2 guys that are, at the moment, look fine, look okay, but do they look like title winning number 9s? Does Maeda look like a title winning number 9? Iheanacho might be the best at the four of them, but for whatever reason, he's never available. So it's a tall order. All you can say in terms of the positivity for Celtic is Martin O'Neill's given them a shot in the arm. He brings belief, he brings personality, he brings a winning mentality, but it might still not be enough. But as long as he's at the helm, you feel that Celtic have got a chance. And I think he was fuming with Danny Rowe's comments on Friday, and that's one thing about Danny Rowe. I think we've praised him on the show, and rightly so, because he'd quietly gone about his business. If he when he came in, Rangers just quietly came up the rails, put themselves at one point into pole position, not needing any favours. Title was in their own hands. They now need favours. But I was very surprised at Danny Rowe's comments on Friday in terms of the goalkeeping situation and that remark about Celtic not going to win the tie, which I really thought, why are you talking about that? I don't know if it was Martin O'Neill or someone else referencing. Walter Smith would have been speaking about that. He may well have said, well done to a Scottish team winning away from home in Europe, which is never, but he'd never have sort of found fault, and he probably just wouldn't have said anything at all. So for me, Danny Rowe, why are you getting involved in that? Why you mention it? It's got Martin O'Neill's backup, and I'm sure that would have been in Martin O'Neill's thoughts at half time. Yeah, I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose to this guy. I don't want to give him the satisfaction. And with Rangers, they've got to learn, management and players, celebrate when you've won, talk the talk when you've won. No point in doing it when you've not won anything. And I think that's a lesson to Rangers yesterday.
Because at the moment, Rangers and Celtic, it looks as though the title is going to Edinburgh. We're back. We're going to take your call 0808 17 17 700 next.
The Go Radio Football Show with Burger King.
Yep, Burger King with us tonight, along with Charlie Mulgrew, Paul Cooney and Mark Guidi. A lot of calls coming in after the weekend. A weekend which kicked off, seems ages ago, Dundee and Hibs drawing 3-3. Falkirk 5, Kilmarnock 1. A resounding victory there for the Bairns. And for Killy, it's a worry. Hearts winning 1-0 in the match of the day. 22 weeks at the top of the table. The Jam Tarts. Claudio Braga scoring in 28 minutes. Livingston 1, St Mirren 1. Saints were 1 up, as you know. But then Livy equalising. And Motherwell 2, Dundee United 0. Maswanisi a double. And then yesterday, Rangers 2, Celtic 2. We're going to talk about all the games shortly, but we're still looking at everything. I want to tell you all, in the month of February, I'm just hearing today from Rochelle, the managing director, that we had 3.5 million views of the Go Radio output during February. So up from just over 2 million.
Across all
in China.
platforms.
That's it.
Nice.
Well done, Charlie. Yeah, pretty good, isn't it?
Very good.
Good to be in the winning team.
Yeah, brilliant.
Do you remember that? When were you last in the winning team?
For
Oh yeah, whatever. Anyone.
paddle tennis last. Funny enough, you mentioned it. Paddle tennis last Wednesday against Calvin Miller and.
Wow.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
How can I not
Like
remember his name? He scored
yeah.
2 at the weekend. Dylan Tate.
Oh, Dylan Tate. Yeah, exactly. He did. He scored 2.
They went 3-0 up, and we used a bit of
done.
experience and put them with the sword.
Fantastic. Yeah, Dylan Tate.
And then Dylan Tate gets 2 goals, and Calvin Miller gets an assist. So
Fantastic. Barney Stewart got a couple as well.
they were
Yeah,
back.
well done. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Mark, have you tried the old paddle tennis or
No,
whatever?
no.
You and Simon Jordan? No.
No, I've not. I hear
Whitey?
great reports. Everybody's into it. No, I've not get, and more and more. I don't know if courts is the right word, but more and more courts or pitches, whatever you call it, popping up all over Glasgow.
It's good.
But,
It's a good
yeah, I'll
sport.
get into it at some point. Like Lee McCulloch's right into it. Lee
is he?
McCulloch takes
Yeah.
it seriously. Yeah.
What about the Well? We'll talk about Motherwell shortly. But Mark, 21 goals.
I was going to say,
Yep.
Paul, who's the player of the year? Is it Mashwanisi or is it Braga? You know, I don't know. I mean, they've both been absolutely brilliant to do what they've been doing on a regular basis. I mean, I know Braga really caught the eye the first 3 or 4 weeks of the season, burst onto the scene, goals, assists, bringing a real bit of life to Hearts at the top of the pitch. I thought it was going to be kind of guy who'll fade away. We'll not see him November, December, Jan, but my God, he's kept it going. He's been absolutely terrific. What a find.
We'll come back to that shortly. Kevin's on the line, a Rangers fan. Hi, Kevin. Good evening.
Good evening, guys. How are we doing?
Yeah, good. Thanks.
Kevin.
How are you?
Good. Yeah, I was about to say I was on last week
Aye,
when
that's right.
Barry and Peter were on, so back on again for some more punishment.
Yeah.
So there was a few things that I was thinking. Obviously, the Danny Rowe with the comments and the goalkeeper and things. It sort of brought back deja vu with Philippe Clement 2 years ago, if you remember. Before the game, the moral victory game.
Yeah. Yep.
3-3. Brendan
Yep.
Rodgers was a little bit of mind games, and he got drawn in, and he sort of bit at one of the press conferences, and he said it was disrespectful to his team. And I feel it's almost like the same things happened to Danny Rowe with the press. He's been sucked into it and into this sort of mind game of the west of Scotland. And what sort of scares me a bit is after that point, it sort of went downhill for Philip. And I'm just worried about this could go the same way.
I'd have to say, Kevin, I don't believe, to use your words, that Danny Rule has been sucked in. I think he's a clever guy, and he's handled the media, as we've said, superbly well for 3 or 4 months.
Yeah, but so did Philip up until that
Well,
point.
but we're not talking about Fleet. Come on, we're talking about the here and now. I think Danny Rule has chosen to get involved. That was a decision he made on Friday to say what he said about the goalkeeping situation and Celtic's performance / victory against Stuttgart, because Danny Rule referenced it again pre-match yesterday when Sina Salah was given the nod ahead of Schmeichel.
Right.
Danny Rule referenced that again without being asked about it. He brought it up yesterday. So Danny Rule has made a conscious decision to get involved. For whatever reason, I don't believe he should have, because he was going about it the right way, but he drew attention to himself on Friday. And again, don't do that until the points are in the bag. Do it if you won yesterday. See, if you won yesterday, go for it. But see, until the points are in the bag, until you've got a title in the bag, keep your counsel and keep yourself in the straight and narrow.
I think Danny Rowe would have been the perfect thing for Danny Rowe would have been to bat it off in the press conference, no discuss Celtic, no discuss Celtic's performance, no discuss McCowan's words, which were Celtic are the best team by far when they're in full stride, and just hang that statement up for McCowan would have been the best way to deal with it. But the fact he's come out and get involved in it and started talking about goalkeepers and choosing Celtic's team made himself look a little bit silly, and probably played into Celtic hands a wee bit, because then they had a bit of fuel to then use.
And it looked really frosty at the end, didn't it, with Danny Rule and Martin O'Neill, both of whom are really good with the media. Do you know what I mean, Kevin? I mean, I was surprised that Danny Rule, he doubled down on it. You know, before on Sky, I was really surprised. Look, he should be better than that. He's a really good young manager. He's done nothing yet, a really good start. But you're right, there's echoes of those moments with Philippe Clement. People forget as well that Michael Beale had a brilliant start at Rangers. Do you remember that? Win after win after win. But wait until you win it. And why would you take on Martin O'Neill when I think there was no need for it? I don't know if he was advised or if he thought it's just a good idea. What do you think, though, for Rangers? Do you think you can still win it? It's not in your hands anymore.
No. Well, I mean, if you look at the last the last 6 games, they've picked up 6 points. Yeah. That's not championship winning form. No. And if you look at Celtic, it's arguably the worst Celtic team in the last 30 years. And Danny Rowe's been bankrolled over this transfer window. He's been given the place he's got. Celtic have got a patch-up job. And if you can't put them out of the game, like you're 2-0 up at home. And another thing, maybe Charlie could answer this. See, if you look at the two games, the first game at Celtic Park, Danny Rowe changed it, and Wilfred Nancy couldn't respond, and then it's almost like a mirror image of what happened yesterday. How hard? See when if the team comes out in the second half and they change their shape, how hard is it to change your shape to counteract that in game management from the sideline? Is that difficult?
I don't necessarily think it's a shape issue. I think it's a momentum, and 2-0 is a scoreline where it's one of these scorelines everybody talks about it. You concede the next goal. Every manager that's 2-0 down says just get the next goal. You then begin to go, oh no, we've went for a comfortable lead. Oh no, we could maybe draw this game, and you start to then try and protect at times. It takes a manager, a strong manager, to then make a tactical change to try and flip it. I don't think it's. I think the tactical changes and the substitutions create a psychological thing rather than actual tactical. I think it's more of a psychological change on the game where you go, right, somebody comes on and maybe makes a wee bit of decision or takes the ball. But a 2-0 result's a hard one to come back from. When you feel the momentum shift, it's a real, because you can feel it. I could feel it sitting on the couch watching it. The players must have felt it on the pitch. Somebody mentioned about the atmosphere in Ibrox changing, because it's really, you can feel that shift when a goal goes in. You go, oh no, and everybody feels it, and then it's back to the walls.
But they played so well, Charlie, that I think Kevin would feel. You heard Paul earlier on, the Rangers fans saying they should have kicked on. They should have got back into it. Show a bit of
I think
mettle.
that's a manager's job to realise the momentum shift has changed. Now, how can I make a change? Whether it be personnel, whether it be shape, whether it be something to try and get you back in it, whether you get somebody to side and saying, right, spin them for 10 minutes or whatever it is. But it is hard, and it probably takes a captain, a leader or a manager to sort of make that change.
Did he make a mistake taking off Nadiri, putting Diamandi on? I mean, he wanted to change things, but Kevin, did you feel that was part of the issue?
Yeah, well, just listening to other outlets, what was sort of picked up on is that Trimiti was up on his own, and he's not as effective. I know Diamandi, he wasn't playing as far up front as Nadiri, so he was more isolated, and he is better when he's got a fellow striker up there with him.
Yeah, I think as well, when you get to that stage, what you've got to do when you're trying to basically hang on to the game, keep your 3 points intact, you're absolutely right, Kevin. Chamiti's not a lone striker. He put a tremendous effort in for 66. Take him off, put Miovski on. Let Miovski run about, bring Diamondi back a wee bit deeper and show it up. So he's called that wrong, Danilo. And by the way, I love your phrase earlier on. You're absolutely spot on. He's saying Celtic at the moment, it's a patchwork team.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what it is. It's a patchwork squad, a patchwork transfer window 4 or 5 weeks ago to get 3 or 4 players in on loan. And it would say a lot if this patchwork team actually goes on to win the title.
And on
The
paper,
thing is, they're going to strengthen next year as well, Celtic. They will never be as bad as this.
Are you sure they will? Charlie, sorry, maybe that's for afternoon, because some of the Celtic people must be looking at it and say, what? How could this happen? But it's a great point, isn't it? Patchwork Celtic getting away with it yesterday.
And we talk about Diamandi coming on to shore things up, because that's probably what Danny Rowe was thinking. But I think actually pressing Celtic for the front with 2 strikers in the first half, showing that Celtic can't get out. You're putting them down one side, they've no answers to it. To then take a backward step by bringing a midfielder on and taking somebody for the front line off, I think it's actually a less than defensive move, because although you're putting an extra midfielder on, you're not getting the high presses high up with 2 strikers, so you then allow them to come back into it and get in control of the game and get a wee bit of a foothold and build the game up. And that's what Celtic are best at. The minute you make them kick long, they've no real presence up the top end of the pitch.
Thanks, Kevin. News is next, then we're back.
The Go Radio Football Show with Burger King. Watch live at 5 p.m. weekdays on YouTube. Join the conversation on 0808 17 17 700. Talking Scottish football first.
Well, it was a game of a tale of 2 halves, wasn't it? Not tale of 2 cities at the weekend, with Rangers dominating the first half, 2-0 up at half-time. Celtic equalising 2-2. It was KT who scored with a header, and then the penalty right at the end, Reo Hatate. And Rangers fans, Billy's been on saying, where's the Rangers defenders? Maeda gets in, Hatate has 3 goes at it with the penalty kick and then a rebound then again. And where were they? What happened? Is Danny Rose saying anything about that afterwards? There's a bit of criticism for the Rangers manager for the in-game management, and yet what he said beforehand and the way he attacked the first half was exemplary. And for Martin O'Neill, how long can he go as the person bailing a patchwork Celtic team, which it is for sure? 0808 17 17 700. We heard from a Hibs fan. I wonder if we'll get a Hearts fan tonight. Mark, we don't get too many here on Glasgow's Own, but my goodness, they should be now. They're the favourites for the first time. The bookmakers don't often get it wrong.
Oh, they're in a great position, Paul. They've got 9 games to play. At the moment, they're 6 points ahead of Rangers. They are 8 points ahead of Celtic, albeit Celtic's got a game in hand, which effectively could only make the gap 5 points. But Paul, in a really strong position. You look at the fixtures before the split. Kilmarnock away, which would be tough because Kilmarnock will be hurting. You heard Neil McCann's comments over the weekend. Dundee at home, Livingston away, Motherwell at home. Like I said, there's no easy games, but I think that's not a bad schedule between now and the split. There's certainly points to be had in every game.
Have you got Rangers off the top of your head?
Rangers, their next game's in Paisley, so they're going to St Mirren away after the Scottish Cup round. Of course, they play Celtic on Sunday in the Scottish Cup at Ibrox. They've then get Aberdeen at home, which I think, if there's a gimme in Scottish football, I think it's Aberdeen at the moment. Dundee United at home as well, which they would fancy their chances. Then Falkirk away, which is always going to be tough. Every away game is a tough one. But Rangers have got a favourable 4 games coming up, but I just think they've left it. They've left themselves with too much to do. Rangers, I don't think they're in the race at the moment. And Celtic, it starts on Wednesday night at Pittodrie. If Celtic don't win that game, Paul, I think they're out the race as well. Celtic will probably have to win every game if they want to be champions. So they've got 10 games to go. It's a big ask, but I think they might need to win every game.
Charlie, as you know, so it's Aberdeen Wednesday night. Then after the Cup, it's going to be Motherwell at home. Huge game. Dundee United away. Dundee away. St Mirren at home, and then the split. And for Motherwell, Dundee away. Celtic away. Hibs home. Falkirk home. Hearts away. I know the radio's not the best way to tell you so many different games, but when you look at all the fixtures, each of the clubs will think, okay, we could win every one of them.
Yep, and when I look at Celtic's fixtures, it's easy to go through and go, this is hard, this is easy, this is difficult, this is... Celtic are playing against themselves. Martin O'Neill, I don't think, knows the strongest 11. I don't think anybody's standing out as a guaranteed starter. Obviously, Cal McGregor, Scales are going to play, but there's so many places up for grabs when you think about Vinchara and Adamu as the striker options. And does he come in and play? Is he going to be fit enough? The wingers been chop and change. Tenecti's come on, done great at times, but started games and faded away.
Did well yesterday though, didn't
Yang,
he?
who works really hard. Yeah, he done well when he came on. Then you've got Yang, who works really hard but blows hot and cold. Celtic, that's a big problem for me for Celtic. They don't have a consistent 11 that you could write it down and say, right, with the exception of 1, 2, maybe 3, here's your strongest 11 that's going to play every week.
Do you know it
And
now
that's the
after
problem.
yesterday?
No,
Sorry.
you don't, because
No.
I thought I knew it after Thursday. I thought I never thought I knew it. I thought there was players in there that definitely should have been. McCowan, I think, but then didn't play. But I said Hatate had to play through default, yet he goes and does well. But then he could go to Aberdeen and just go missing again. Maeda, who's somebody you would never have out the team, I wouldn't have him in the team now.
Still, even though Vanchara's not doing brilliantly,
I mean, Paul, there's so
struggling.
many.
Yeah.
You can toss a coin
Of
with all these
course,
positions.
yeah.
It must be so hard to pick the team. It must be a day-to-day battle for Martin O'Neill.
Benny's been on, a Celtic fan, saying the Celtic team, the whole team cost less than Chermiti. Now, would that be right? The team that started yesterday? I know there's so many loans and stuff. We'll have a look at that while we hear from both managers. So this is Danny Rule after the 2-2.
Yeah, finally disappointed. I think we're all disappointed. We played 50 minutes, an outstanding football game from our side. I think in all phases of the game, much better team. Good pressing, good transition moments, good possession stuff. We dominate them. They had no chance. It was outstanding. But football is about 95 minutes, not 45 or 50 minutes. Finally, it was clear for me, after 2-0 in the half-time, that they try something. We come well out after the second to the half-time. I think we had straight 2-3 good moments. And then you felt the momentum changed a little bit. We lose some ball in transition moments. We didn't attack the last line what we want to continue. They were struggling with them, and then they scored a goal. And then they have nothing to lose. They can go all in. And finally, they get a pen for the 2-2, and then you have the result 2-2.
He was asked about the team mentality. Is it an issue now?
Well, no, I will not accept this about mentality. I think this is always easy. Everyone who played football knows during a game there's a story, there's a momentum for one team, for the second team. It's about that we continue our performance over 95 minutes. If we do this, then they would have not a chance to come back. I think this is also part, and we have now 6 points, the gap. Still 9 games to go. I will be not tired and say this again and again. This year it's about the final match day, not today, and we will fight for every point until the end. And next week in the cup we have the next chance against them. We will try to improve. This is key, and then we go again. I think 9 games. It's massive. It's a lot of things to go and for playing, and I totally believe to my players.
Mark, first of all, what would you say to Benny about Chermiti costing more than the whole of the Celtic lineup that started?
I mean, it looks that way. If you look at the numbers, I think it just kind of shows you where Celtic are at the moment, what they've not really done in the last couple of windows, and it shows you how that Rangers have backed the managers. They certainly backed Russell Martin in the summer with loans and buying players, including Chermiti at £8 million. They backed Danny Rule in the window in January, backed him big time, whereas Celtic, they brought in players, there's no doubt about that. They brought in 5, I think it was. But I think Kevin, the previous caller, summed it up. Perfect phrase. It's a patchwork Celtic. And Charlie's right. You look at Martin O'Neill, he's not really got a number. Well, he doesn't. He absolutely does not have a number 9 you can hang your hat on. Very unlikely you win a title when you don't have a number 9 to hang your hat on. He doesn't have a centre half that he can hang his hat on. Out with Scales, who'll give you a steady 7 out of 10 every week. Out with Callum McGregor, he doesn't have another central midfielder you can absolutely hang your hat on. So there's a problem right through the middle of the team. You're right, Paul, about Tenecki. Tanecki teamed up well with Tierney, then teamed up well with Sriracha. He got Celtic up the park. He put Rangers on the back foot, and he helped bring a wee spark. I think that I want to mention is you look at both goals. Now, he's not had a direct assist for any of the goals, and he's not scored the goals. But look at Callum McGregor's calmness in both goals. The way he's helped keep the ball and set things up in and around the 18-yard line and in the penalty box. And then one of Charlie's old teammates, James Forrest, just bringing that wee spark to help bring around the equaliser, albeit through VAR and from the penalty spot.
I think when you talk about James Forrest there, he's the only one that's not had a consistent go on the wing. I think Yang's been preferred because he's probably got a bit of trust in the manager where he's working back. But I get a calmness when Forrest comes on the pitch. He takes the ball, he makes the right pass, he goes backwards and he goes sideways when he needs to, and he takes his man on. He gets a bit of control back in the game for me with his know-how. And he's somebody that I would probably give a go on Wednesday night and then try and get in the team to nail down that right wing position, because I think he's got the know-how and someone who's done it before.
Title race, it's like no other, isn't it, Charlie? You're about to hit 40. It hasn't happened since before you were born, when Aberdeen last won it. And the nearest was, 40 years ago, Mark, when Hearts lost out in the last day of the season. And I hear you saying, Charlie, have you been checking the old cuttings? It's Hearts to lose. Is this a psychological battle that you're waging here from Glasgow HQ?
I'm the bookies are never far away, Paul. And I think that the minute they've made Hearts odds-on favourites, then you've got to think that's looking like it. I mean, I look every week at Hearts results, and they just keep plugging away 1-0s. The last two results, it's not just been 1-0s. That's what the results said, but they've had chances to score more goals. They've not offered a lot. Aberdeen never had one shot on target on Saturday. They've not offered a lot to the opposition. So, although Derek McInnes has had loads of injuries as well, if you go through Stuart Finlay, who's the spine of his team, Devlin, Shankland, these players are big players. Gordon's injured, albeit he's back up, but he still played his part of points in the season, save against Dundee. But there's still had places come in. McCart comes in at the weekend, replaces really well, replaces Finlay, does really well. So they keep plugging out results, and they've started to sort of increase their chances for Hearts. It's Hearts to lose. Hearts are, and Hearts ever lose this title, they're going to look back and really regret it, because they're in a real strong position now with 9 games to go.
Mark, I see Derek McInnes got involved in something at the end of the game. I don't know if it was something or nothing, because Derek has also handled himself really well. He's been over the course before. I mean, he's never won a title, but were you surprised that it was? I didn't see the whole spat. I only saw the headlines of it. I saw a social media.
Yeah, there was clearly some kind of incident where Derek McInnes and Peter Leaving have had words at full time over what, I don't know. There was a bit of fracas on the pitch. A lot of players get involved. Derek get involved. Then there was words, and it looked as though Peter Leaving just kind of walked away. Whatever it was Derek was saying, Peter Leaving didn't appear to be having it. And then Derek's kind of made a face to the Hearts crowd, which wasn't kind of complimentary towards Peter Leaving. By the looks of it, you can see, Paul, the miss that Hearts have had at 0-0, and Derek's booted the dugout, or booted a seat. I've never seen him so animated like that, in terms of, I've seen them animated when they score or they win a game, which is right. But with that one, so look, I'm not criticising for it. I think it's totally understandable. He's been managing now for 20 years, just about. They are very, very close to winning a title. An incredible, I mean, make no mistake, an incredible achievement if they do it. And people can talk all day long about how weak Celtic are, or how poor Rangers are, or whatever. Hearts have still got to go and do the business, and right now they're in the driving seat. What's your latest, Mark? I always value this when you come on. How many points do you think it is going to be? I've said now, probably, Paul, for the last 4 or 5 months, 84 will win you the title. Now, normally you need 90. Charlie's won titles, he'll know. Hearts can get to 90. Do I think Hearts are going to win the last 9 games? I think they're going to take 27 points. No. So I reckon Hearts will get between 83 and 85. Rangers can get to 84. Celtic can get to 85. Motherwell can get to 83. So what I'm saying is, if Rangers, Celtic or Motherwell are going to win the title, to have any chance, I think they're going to have to win every game they have left.
Right.
Whereas Hearts can almost afford a defeat and a couple of draws out of 9 and still win the title. So at the moment, I still think 84. I think will win you the title. 84 max will win you the title. So right now, the other teams have next to it because Celtic can't get. Celtic can only get 85 or 83 or below.
Sure.
Celtic can't get 84. So right now, Hearts are in such a strong position. But like we say, Paul, there are no easy games. Genuinely, no easy games. And then after the split, Hearts need to go to Celtic Park. Rangers need to go to Tynecastle. And I think the way the fixtures will work, if they're still kind of bunched, and including Motherwell, I think Hearts will play Celtic and Rangers in their opening 2 games of the split. And then I think the Old Firm game will be game number 3.
So that's as early as that, Mark. Those
yeah,
crucial games, right?
I think you probably you could if they're still kind of shaped the way they are now, unless somebody really drops off. I think you probably see Hearts Rangers, your opening game at Tynecastle. Then Hearts would go to Celtic Park, and then I think it'd be the Old Firm game on weekend 3.
Wow, Charlie, it's fascinating, isn't it? Because Hearts are on 63, so 21 points. They've got 9 games left.
Yeah, based on what Mark's saying there, it would be a disaster if Hearts never won for Hearts.
Yeah.
They're right in the driving seat. They can afford a couple of slip-ups. So they're going back to the Dale McInnes stuff. He's created a narrative that nobody wants Hearts to win the league. And I think similar to what Alex Ferguson done to Aberdeen back in the days, I say his mentality, nobody likes us. And I think he's carrying that through the way he's after games, and he bars into the Aberdeen player. It's this big, and the Hearts player run to back him up. It's this whole thing he's created, which I don't think is true. I think a lot of people want Hearts to win the league. A lot of people would like to see a change. You can't speak for everybody. I just get that feeling. I mean, you heard the Hibs fan online earlier. He said he doesn't, but he was half swaying towards Celtic and Rangers are entitled. So I think a lot of teams. Sure. I think a lot of teams fans will be feeling like that. Hibs maybe a step too far, but I think every other team will be thinking, well, it'd be nice to see a change. So I don't think it's true the narrative he's pushing, but I think it's working for Hearts.
What about the dust up at the end? Is it worth mentioning at the Old Firm game at the Glasgow Derby, or was it not too much in it? Charlie, what did you observe?
It's about pushing with Mikey Moore and a row.
It was a good push. I'm joking. It's not. He did a bit of pushing. It was
felt
well
for Mark
off
Lyle a wee bit. It was like your granda splitting up a fight in the playground, wasn't it? You were like, you felt a wee bit sorry for him.
He was in McFlynn, wasn't he?
He done well.
He
calmed it all down and they managed to just blow over. Listen, these things happen. It's all part of it. Big Vinchara was in amongst. He was desperate for a tear of it, wasn't he?
Sure. Is he back in on Wednesday night? Liam's asking that. Do you think for Pittodrie?
Well, I'd be surprised if Adamu starts. I don't think he's done himself any favours. So and then Vinchara wasn't overly impressive against Hibs when he gets started. So let us say Celtic do not have a number 9 they can hang their hat on. I think Ian Atchell's the best, but I don't know if he's injured again. I just don't know if he's got the right attitude. I don't know. But that number 9 jersey is absolutely up for grabs.
It's all about the title race. This was Martin O'Neill then after the game yesterday. So Hearts 63 points, Rangers 57, Celtic 55, but of course with a game in hand.
If you're looking at it from a distance, I think that then today's results are a really good result for Hearts as much as anything else. And that's the way if you were involved with Hearts, you'd have been thinking a point each year would be good. As I said to you earlier, we've been fighting the whole way through. It seems as if it's like the old proverbial mountain to climb every single week, and it's getting, games are getting fewer and fewer now. But even so, we're still well in it. We're still well in this here. We need to go. We need to try and win on Wednesday. And if we could do that, it'd be great. That will not be easy for us.
Good time to call 0808 17 17 700.
Win on go with Scottish Gas. With Scottish Gas Peak Save, get half-price electricity every Sunday from 11 a.m. till 4 p.m. Smart meter required. Eligibility and terms apply.
Thanks, Alan. Yes, our new competition, Pick Your Pundit. With Scottish Gas, we're going to give you the chance to win £250 or £500. On the line tonight, Craig, a Rangers fan from Knightswood. Hi, Craig. Good evening.
Hi, guys. How you doing?
Great. How are you?
Bad, excited for the game.
Good to hear you on, Craig. Are you at home just now? Or are you at work? Or what are you up to?
I'm just in the house.
Yeah. Did you watch the match yesterday? Were you there?
Yeah, I was at the game. It was quite frustrating.
Yeah. At half-time, you must have thought, here we go. Celebrating.
Yeah, I
But,
thought after the first half it was a case of how many for Rangers, but just turned around second half.
You can see if you're watching on YouTube where we are, or on Go Radio itself, then the guys are just at the moment, because during the break I tell them what's coming up. So they don't know the answers, but so that they can know whether they're going to... In fact, could you turn us down a little bit, turn the radio down? Because you'll... Yeah, okay, that's it. Good. Can you still hear me, Craig? You should. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, here's how it works. I've got a question for you, and the pundit who has the highest number correctly is going to get either 500, or if he takes the lower number, it's worth 250. For example, in fact, I'll give you the question, then we'll decide. Charlie Mulgrew standing by. Hi, Charlie.
Hi, how you doing?
Craig's there. And so is Mark Guidi.
Hi, Paul. Hi, Craig.
Hiya.
All right, Craig, you can hear them. Here's tonight's question. Scottish Cup week. How many captains can you name that have lifted the trophy since 2001? For those that have lifted multiple times, we only need their name once. If you get it wrong, even one of them wrong, you lose. So, guys, how many captains could you name correctly who've lifted the trophy since 2000, 2001? And there's either 250 at stake or £500. Charlie, how many do you think you could get right?
I'm confident with 6.
6, okay. Mark, what do you feel?
I'm confident with 8.
Okay. So, Charlie's saying 6, and not even Charlie or me surely can get that wrong. But but if he gets them all right, you get 250. If Mark gets his 8 right, you get £500. What do you feel?
I think I'll go with Mark.
Going to go with Mark. Yep. Okay. You all right with that, Charlie? Yeah.
Yep, I
Last
think that's
chance
a good
to go
decision.
9? No? You sure?
No, otherwise
you,
lose
you,
him.
you played in some of these as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Mark, captains who've lifted the Scottish Cup since 2001. May 20, 2001. Yep.
I'll go
Okay.
Paul Lambert.
Paul Lambert, correct. 2001.
Scott Brown.
Scott Brown, correct.
Barry Ferguson.
Barry Ferguson, correct.
Graham Shinney.
That's 3. Graham Shinney, of course, the 2025 winner, correct.
Callum McGregor.
Callum McGregor, 2024, correct. Wait a minute, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
James Tavernier.
James Tavernier, of course, the captain of Rangers, is correct. Yep, was that the 2022, wasn't it?
Yeah, 21, 22,
22. 22. Yeah, just after Seville.
Seville, yes.
Correct. Yep.
David Gray, Hibernian.
David Gray, that was 2016, wasn't it? Yeah, Sir David Gray. So is that 7? No.
7.
Okay,
So
number 8. This is for £500.
I'm now going
Yep.
between Stephen Presley and Jackie McNamara and Tom Boyd. I'm going for one of the 3, and I'm going to say Stephen Presley.
You reckon? You're right, correct. £500. Stephen Presley was at Hearts. Well done. Well done, Mark. You know your stuff.
Great.
Yeah?
Well done, Craig. Enjoy the money.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks very much, Mark.
Well done, Craig.
Fantastic.
No problem.
Craig, what are you going to do with the £500 from Scottish Gas?
Well, we're saving for a wedding at the minute.
Oh, are
so we'll
you?
put towards that.
Great. Do you know who you're marrying?
I'll start my best man speech when I get home, Craig.
Do you know who you're marrying? Are you just determined to get married? When is the
No,
wedding?
no, I know who I'm marrying.
Aye.
It's
Who
in
is
a couple
it?
of years.
Yeah.
It's my fiancée, Ashley.
Ashley. Oh, brilliant. So
Get her
when
to Bathy the night.
when's the wedding? When's it going to be?
It's in a couple of years, in 2028, so we're just saving up now. So
Brilliant.
just getting the money together
Okay.
for it.
Charlie's got the diary here ready.
Brilliant.
So what about the Rangers? What do you think's going to happen this season? Have you blown it? Or
That's the thing.
yeah,
Yeah, I think it's still on. I still think other teams will drop points, but they've just had a sticky patch of form at the wrong time, if you know what I mean. I think it's if they can go on a run again, but also you're relying on the other teams dropping points now, which isn't the greatest.
how good was it yesterday pre-match? And then obviously the Chermiti. What about that first goal?
Oh, it was fantastic, wasn't it? It must be one of the best goals I've seen live in a stadium, I feel, especially at Old Firm.
Where are you in the ground?
Yeah, I sit in the club deck usually.
Oh, right. Yeah. Posh up there.
Nice.
Yeah, it's high, isn't it? It's great view, though. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a great view for the goal.
And then his second
You
goal.
better watch Ashley does he take your ticket off you and put it into the fund.
And his second goal.
It's still a great finish as well. For the touch was excellent. And composure. He seems to be a big game player. Seems to have scored in big games.
What did you make of Skov Olsen? Here's what the manager thought of him.
He's on the way to be better and better. I think he has now some good assists. I think that comes better and better. It's all about us that we have to improve. I think there's no player to be in the comfort zone. I think we want to increase. We have to increase. I said this many times. We have to be better and better and better in every game. I see a direction, but today, of course, we couldn't keep the great performance from the first 45 minutes, and it's the reason why we are disappointed. We have to be disappointed about us, and then we move forward.
It's funny, not having played the game at any level, I don't know if you have, Craig, you wonder what happens at half-time, because for Rangers, you didn't want a break, you wanted it to keep going.
Yeah, I know. I wonder what happened. I did think before half-time that they had to get the third early doors because of us Celtic to make a couple of changes and get back in the game, because they couldn't really have been as bad as they were first half again.
The manager was asked, what happened that second half?
I think there were some moments where we lose the ball then in areas what we shouldn't. Yeah, we give them some transition moments, then the field was too stretched, we lose a little bit the compactness. I think we try then to stabilize the midfield with a third midfielder. But football is then about energy, and then you felt when you come not really in this momentum back, then there's an opponent that tried everything. I have to look back when I count all the big chances except from the pen. I'm not sure how many chances they had really. What me makes a little bit in these two situations, I think we had always not the right positioning in our box. I think this is crucial. Also by the pen, it was a 5-against-3 situation. If we man mark and we have an open body position in our box, then we can defend this situation. But this is football. Yeah, we have to learn. We have to take it. We will speak about this, and then we will try next week to make it better to come in the next round.
How are you feeling about the cup game? Have you got a ticket for Sunday?
Yeah, got a ticket for Sunday as well. So, yeah, I'm sure after that game. It depends when Rangers turn up again. I feel it'd start the game the same way, but maybe try and tighten things up a bit better sooner.
Starts with the same team. Charlie, I was going to say, it's not difficult to get yourself back up for an Old Firm game. Of course not. Yeah. What's the difference, do you think, for the cup? One off? Or, mind you, yesterday was such a vital, wasn't a title decider, clearly.
I'll just be as big as a game. For Rangers. It's another competition where they want to do well in. You're playing against Celtic again, another chance to sort of beat your rival. So it'll just be as big a game. I mean, to be honest, when you're in amongst the games, once it starts, you're not thinking about, is this a league game, is that a cup game, is that? It's just you're in it, trying to win it. Again, Rangers will take heart for the first half performance.
What was it like for you winning the Scottish Cup? What's it like?
Brilliant, amazing way to end the season. Last game of the season, usually a nice day at Hampden, and it's a great feeling to lift that Scottish Cup. A lot of pressure you feel going into the game, but great end of the season. Always a wee celebration after it, which is nice if you win it. So you don't want to ruin that by not winning the cup. Brilliant days. You
get a special suit for it. Have you still got it? You still wearing it?
I remember we won it. We won it one year. We went back to Celtic Park, and me and Scott, we had a couple of beers in the bus. We went back to Celtic Park, and we came in the back entrance to walk across the pitch to go up to the lounge.
Yeah.
And me and Scott Brown jumped into the toilet in the north stand. And if you've been in Celtic Park, you'll know that there's doors that you go in one way, you walk up and you go out the other door. So me and Scott Brown went in, down the toilet, a couple of beers in, as we tried to go back out the same door, but there's no handle on it. And we thought, we're stuck. We'll get our fingers underneath the door, with fingernails trying to pull the door open. Two stood in there for 15 minutes trying to phone everybody, and then I walked to the end of the toilet and saw a door, just opened the door. True story, so that was our celebration. Nearly sat in the toilet in the north stand for the rest of the night, but thankfully one of us got a brain cell between us and we found the door.
Craig, don't follow Charlie to the loo at Ibrox because he'll be there for Premier Sports. And what do you think deep down? Is it going to be Hearts for the title, or could it be Rangers or Celtic or Motherwell?
I mean, I think the team with the most momentum is Motherwell, but I still hope in my heart Rangers can do it.
Yeah. Craig, thanks so much for joining us. Enjoy the £500 from Scottish Gas, and I hope call us again. Great to speak with you.
Yeah, good to be here too. Thank you very much.
Cheers.
See you,
Thank
Craig.
you.
Well done, mate.
Craig
Cheers,
there,
well done.
getting married in a couple of years. So
Nice.
yeah,
What was
absolutely.
the other names there?
What the other ones? Yeah, good point. Right, here's some other names. So Paul Lambert. So you
You had
Barry Ferguson, Jackie McNamara, Stephen Presley,
Jackie McNamara. Never
Neil Lennon.
Who was the Dundee United captain that won it? Is he on there?
Let me come to it. Let me go through. Dave, in fact, we're coming to it. Well done.
I had John,
Andy Webster, Dundee
I had
United.
John Daly down just as well. It never came to me.
David Weir at Rangers, of course. Scott Brown, Celtic. You mentioned you played in that
What
game.
about the
didn't you?
Aberdeen captain?
Which was Graham Shinney,
James Shinnie,
just
so
last year. Yeah.
they didn't win it with
Oh, Inverness and Aberdeen. So he's won it with both. Yeah.
Inverness.
I remember Inverness. Was that
Big
2015?
Yogi's team, yeah.
Yeah. Marius Salukas. There you are. Hearts. Wait for this one. Who was the St Johnson captain?
That's what I was thinking.
That was it, 2021. Yeah.
No.
No.
2014, they beat the United at Parkhead. He's
Was
got
it
a
Jody
nickname.
Morris,
He's
no?
got a nickname that goes along with it. He's got a
Yeah.
nickname.
Okay.
Stalwart.
Dave Mackay.
Correct.
Cup time Mackay.
Cup time
that's the
Mackay.
one.
Well done. David Gray, Hibs. Jason Kerr, St Johnson from 2021. James Tavernier from Rangers. Callum McGregor and Graham Shinney. So Graham Shinney was in there. James, our executive producer. I was thinking, I've missed Shinney, but of course he's in twice because of Inverness. Was that 2015, Mark? Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Inverness beat, was it Dundee United in the final?
That's when Celtic get the handball in the bot. The
In the semi.
semi.
Yeah, you'd have been playing in that one, aye?
No, I was injured at the time, but I was there.
Were you?
It was a handball fig. It was it.
You were running the line at the time, eh?
Mark, is it time to update that excellent book by our old colleague Hugh Keevans, who did 100 years of the Scottish Cup?
Yeah, what
Yeah.
are we on now? It was
That
150 a couple of years ago, wasn't it?
That's how he started.
Yeah.
He came on the programme on Super Scoreboard and then he never left. That was at
That's right.
1985. So well done to Hugh because he'll be listening in
Youngster, over
just to
40 years on radio.
Indeed,
Clyde.
just to check the
He's
stories
called
here
beans and
tonight.
that, didn't he?
What was that?
He's
Does he?
called beans
Don't
and
know,
all
but
that.
it's- what a man, eh? He's
some-
great. He's a legend.
He's-
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Great company.
Okay, but thank you very much to Craig and everyone else. And remember, next Monday, someone else can win up to £500. So, yeah. And on Friday night, Sheffield Timber. So, who was on? It was Stephen was on, the Morton fan. Bad result for Morton at the weekend. But Stephen, you didn't get enough, so you didn't get enough of them right. He's a Rangers fan, and he thought Rangers were going to win yesterday. And my goodness, at half-time, you'd have just about put the tick there.
Absolutely.
But I think that's the story today, isn't it? Don't count your chickens until they're clucking down the way to Gorgie Road, which I think for you, Charlie, is anyone going to go through with you?
Don't know. I've not
Yeah.
planned that.
Have
I've
you
not
any-
planned
have
that
you-
far ahead.
This is
I
where
hope
you'll
it-
find it, get friends, isn't it?
Oh no.
You will.
I think
Did a
go
couple of
through,
biggins.
couple of pints, drop a wee bottle of bubbly at the front door for Derek as well.
Right, oh, good shout. Do you know the song Hearts, Hearts, Glorious Hearts? Can you sing it?
Jeez. I've not got myself in that headspace yet.
He'll only sing that if they retain the title next year.
Barry's been on, a different Barry, who is a Motherwell fan, saying Maswinisi has to get the player of the year. 21 goals at Motherwell. And Braga was mentioned, but he reckons he's been great, but 15 goals at Hearts. And that's not, maybe I nearly just said it, title-winning Hearts. There you are. The words came to me, title-winning Hearts. I think it could well be.
Maswinisi's been incredible.
Hasn't
you know,
he?
again, there's Motherwell gone. You know, it just shows you well what great coaching's all about. You know, you get players, you work with them, and you know, not only do you produce winning football, but you turn them into multi-million-pound assets, and that's exactly what Jens Askew has done with Maswinisi, with Faringer, with Watt, with Said, with Just. And by the way, none of them are defenders, and they've got the best defensive record in the league by a mile. By a mile. And all those guys that you're talking about, you might get £2, £3, £4 million for, are all middle to front players.
Is it still 18 goals? It is. I'm kind of saying that with a smile because obviously 2-0 at the weekend. It's phenomenal, isn't it? And obviously the captain, Paul McGinn, is...
Because we in Scotland would always say a good defensive team or a team that don't really have possession. That's what's the beauty of Motherwell. They've got so much of the ball, yet they're set up so well behind it. There's such a structure behind it to defend against counter-attacks. And it's been a breath of fresh air this year.
You know who's going to be here tomorrow night? A great defender, Stephen O'Donnell. So Stephen will join
he?
us. He's having the season of his life, isn't he? And what a life it's been for him with, 25 Scotland capped? Nearly as many as you.
Yeah, it's they've done brilliant. Him and Paul McGinn playing centre back. Obviously Welsh has played his part in there as well. But That must be brilliant to play in that team and have so much possession and also have a plan and have a clear identity in what you are.
Peter Grant,
must be loving it.
Yeah, Peter Grant will be on tomorrow night. He was looking very smart on Sports Scene last night, wasn't he? Yeah.
Oh, he's definitely been to Ralph Slater's, hasn't he? Granny's that beautiful wee two-piece grey suit. The black polo, it was looking $1 million.
It wasn't that red leather jacket for the Christmas do, was it? He polished that before the night out, didn't he?
Well, rumour has it he said he's giving that to you for your 40th birthday party.
Getting the motorbike as well.
He's here tomorrow night. It'll be Peter Grant. It'll be a really good show.
Can you get
tomorrow
bathed
night,
in
don't
that,
worry.
can you?
Stephen O'Donnell. Birthday boy.
Can't get that wet.
Charlie McGrew, any questions for Charlie? You can call 0808 17 17 700. No, he's not leaving early. He'll be here till 7.
The Go Radio Football Show with Burger King.
What a weekend it was. I think you know the stories by now. And it's been advantage Heart for sure for Hearts. Claudio Braga getting his 15th goal of the season. And I see Mark, his dad was there and it was his dad's birthday. So it must be a special celebration, Charlie, if your parents are there. You know,
was he 40?
Yeah, his dad. Yeah. But
listen, Braga's been brilliant. His dad must be proud that I've seen him miss a chance on Saturday. It's not often you see it. He's so clinical. I wonder if that's something that popped up in the analytics about how clinical he is with the amount of chances he has. Brilliant amount of times they've won 1-0 and he's been involved. If not scored the goal, been involved in it. So yeah.
And Kabore had a great chance as well, just wide, wasn't it? Because you thought, oof, that's in 22 weeks at the top. Aberdeen, if we were Radio Aberdeen, you'd be going crazy, wouldn't you? I'll be up there anyway on Kilt Walk business for a couple of days. So Rob will be here. There's the big news. Rob McLean will be here on Wednesday and Thursday, but that'll be some game to be at. Aberdeen Celtic on Wednesday night, which is the next game. We'll come back to that shortly. What are we thinking about Kilmarnock, guys? 5-1 defeat at Falkirk. It's the second big week in a few weeks. Listen, they've had some brilliant results. Mark, what was your take on it, though?
I was watching, obviously, Sports Scene and getting the highlights of the game. I'll get Charlie's take on it. But the defending, like what amateur ever, just defending. Neil McCann and Billy Dodds been pulling their hair out. The defending was appalling. That said, again, credit to Falkirk, to John McGlynn and his staff and his players, the way they've got them playing, the way they entertain. They've been absolutely terrific. But Kilmarnock not out of it, Paul. I still think they've got that mentality to go at it. Their next game, they've got Hearts coming to Rugby Park a week on Saturday, live in the telly, I believe. And they'll need to be much better. But the defending yesterday for a team fighting for their lives, on Saturday, absolutely criminal.
Yeah, I think credit to John McGlynn for the amount of players he's brought for the League One into the Premiership. I feared for the goals they would concede this year, but they've done a lot better than I thought they would do in terms of conceding goals. At the start, there were a lot of having to score 3 to win a game. They've kind of got away from that. Boy Connor Allen's played centre back for them. Not sure if he actually played at the weekend, but he's been a big player for them. They've got Calvin Miller. I mean, they're so fit as well. They're such a fit team. John McGlynn has them well drilled, understanding exactly what their job is. A lot of credit must go to him. He wasn't happy with the last result. Dundee United, I think they'd played to get beat. He wasn't happy. Let the players know, and they respond like that. Kilmarnock, I think they'll be fine under Neil McCann. Jules is a big miss for them. Defensively, very poor at the weekend, and they need to get to grips with that if they want to stay up. But I think they'll do okay. I think they'll maybe catch St Mirren. If they don't, I think they'll be all right in the playoff.
Toby's on from Kilmarnock, not happy, so disappointed. But I hear Charlie, and he'll be pleased to hear that Charlie thinks that Killie will be okay. Do you think they will?
St Mirren, Dundee still in it. I have to say, I think Aberdeen are in it, Paul. Yeah. I don't know where Aberdeen are going to get a win from. Albeit, I think they'll make it difficult for Celtic on Wednesday night. Yeah. But Aberdeen on free fall, haven't scored a goal away from home in 2026. So they are toying. I think just any club, when you look at the bottom 6, you just want to get to 35. Get to 35, you should be fine. So Kilmarnock would need 4 wins and a draw or 2 to get to 35 from 9 games, which is a big ask. St Mirren obviously still very much in it. Dundee, I think, will be okay. I think they'll be fine. I think they'll climb up and out of it. But probably if you're Kilmarnock or St Mirren, you're thinking you could have Ayr United or Partick or something like that in a playoff, Dunfermline, Wraith, whoever it may be, and they probably fancy their chances, but you don't want to put yourself in that situation. You want to get out of it, and Kilmarnock will need to start winning games quickly.
Yeah, Livy bottom of the table on 14 points after 29. Killy on 21, St Mirren on 24, and then Dundee on 28. And to get that late goal, Charlie, it's quite a moment there. Congreve, what a strike. 95th minute of play.
Yep.
And given they went 3-2 down in the last minute of play.
Thought that was it. But Congreve's a real good right winger for Dundee. He's been really good this season. Steve Presley's done a right good job with that Dundee team. Big turnover on players, and then they have the best starts, question marks over them. They've done well. They've slowly built their defensive side of the game into an attacking side that can do both sides, and they're impressed. I've impressed them at Celtic Park. They've done well. Congreve's a good player, and again dug out another result against a decent Hibs team.
What are you thinking for your old club, St Mirren? So to stay in the league will always be the season when people look back and say they won the League Cup, but my goodness, it's not the way they would have planned since.
Well, we're talking about tough games, at the top of the table for the teams that we believe are in the hunt for the title. And at the bottom, so there's Kilmarnock's next game, Hearts, coming to Rugby Park. St Mirren's next game, Rangers, coming to Paisley. So that tells you all you need to know. Both of the games on the telly. Paul, St Mirren just need to scrap. It's one thing about Stephen Robinson. He knows how for teams to battle. He said that to his players on Saturday before the Livingston game. Just get your sleeves rolled up. I don't care how we do it. Just go and get points on the board. Let's go and find 8 or 9 points from somewhere over our remaining 10 games to see us okay. But again, Paul, we talk about what will happen after the split at the top of the table, when it gets real, and it'll be the same at the bottom if you've still got like Kilmarnock and St Mirren maybe battling it out to avoid that playoff spot.
It's a big weekend for St Johnstone, a 3-1 win against Ayr United. They're now on 54 points, Charlie, after 27. Partick Thistle had to settle for the draw, 49 points. So a wee bit of a gap there.
Yep.
The Jacks could still do it, but it's not the weekend they wanted.
No, it's not. They want to stay close, obviously, and try and get that first place up to the Premiership. But I met Alex Ray the other day. Happened to be doing a thing at Hampden with him, and he was really impressed by the way Mark Wilson went about his job. So yeah, it's a good check. Mark Wilson's doing a really good job there. I don't know if they expected to be that far up the league, but while you're there, you're trying to fight and get to the top. And yeah, they'll not give up to the end. St Johnstone are also a good side. They're picking up good results. So yeah, it's a good league.
Prediction, guys, for the next few days. So tomorrow night, as you know, Charlie, your old team, Dundee United, up against St Mirren.
I'm going to say
low scoring.
One each draw.
One each draw. Do you think so?
Yeah.
I mean, last week United against Aberdeen. I know the pitch is so poor at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah. I can't see there being a lot of shots and chances given. Both teams defending their box. Defence being the priority. And I think they'll nick a couple of goals. And there'll be a couple of goals in the game. Both teams one each.
Mark?
I'm going to go Dundee United 2-1.
Okay. There's also a Broth against Ayr tomorrow night. Well, both of them looking for that playoff position, and Dunfermline against the bottom club, Ross County. So Ross County.
By the way, I know we speak about Partick Thistle, the local team, Mark Wilson, Alec Ray, and you speak about Dunfermline and Ayr United, Scotland, but Arbroath, are we honest to goodness, absolutely incredible. What a job they've done at Arbroath. Brilliant.
Have we got any listeners up there? Are you worried about Arbroath? You need to worry more about
Airdrie. Sitting down having their smokies, having their dinner, and running
we need the audience
Gayfield.
here. But thank you, Mark. We'll put Mark's game this weekend is going to be up there. The Red Lichties up again. Have you ever covered a game there?
No, I played there for Albion Rovers.
Of course,
played there for Albion Rovers and saved a penalty kick against an old striker. You'll remember him. Kenny McDonald, old blonde striker. I saved a penalty kick from Kenny McDonald at Gayfield. One of my proudest moments in professional football.
Nice.
And Charlie, your old clubs, Aberdeen against Celtic. This is going to be some game. I mean, one of the things, credit to Celtic, was you'd forgotten about the Stuttgart game, I think, yesterday.
Yeah. They
didn't run out of steam. Is that because of the way the second half was? What are you thinking? What's your team for Wednesday night? So Trusty is not there. So you don't change it at the back, do you?
Potentially. I don't. It's only Martin O'Neill that know what.
You know the inside scoop.
No, what's the boy, Arthur?
Yeah.
I don't know what he's like.
Can you throw him at Pittodrie though? You know what it's like. They're up there. They don't like.
Nah, I think he'll stick with Dane Murray. I know, although he made the error for the second goal, I think that he done well in Stuttgart. Gained a wee bit of trust in the manager. He recovered well at Ibrox. You'd imagine Dane Murray, Scales, Arojo, Tierney again, and then you would go McGregor. I think McCowan's got to play. Has Atati worked his way back in potentially? Tenekte, striker. I don't know. Would he go? I would go Vinchara. The reason Vinchara nicks it for me, and I would have started him at Ibrox, is because set pieces again, Celtic only have Dane Murray and Scales defending that box, and there's no other height. You get people like Tierney, Arojo, they get their body in and try and put people off, but natural height and power in there, Vinchara adds to that. I think you could play direct to him at times, get up to him, although he needs to improve in holding it up. And then I would play Forrest in the right.
Would you?
I would give Forrest a game, But I look at that every game now for Celtic, and I must admit, there's no confidence there saying they'll go and win that game. It's always will they get started late? Will they nick it? I don't know. I would love to see a performance to go with a result.
Mind you, I think if you're choosing any team right now to go and think, we'll go and get a win there, I think you're taking Aberdeen, even ahead of Livingston. I think Livingston would give you a tougher game than Aberdeen. I think Aberdeen are all over the place in it.
And your line-up, Mark, if you were... Would you
obviously Sinnes-Allen goes. I'd give him the gloves the rest of the season. The back four go the same back four. Maybe depending on Kieran Tierney's body, you might look at Sirachi. Maybe I would still go with. I would give Oxley Chamberlain another start with Hitati and obviously Callum McGregor.
You can see his class, can't you? It's just getting up to speed.
I would go with Teneke and Yang. I get Charlie's point, but I'd always keep Forrest now a good 20-25 minutes off the bench all the time. And again, your number 9, do you go Maeda? He's not been brilliant, but you look at his part in the second goal, the way he dragged the Rangers defence.
You'd play him, wouldn't you? You'd play him
I'd
through
probably
the
go with Maeda, but I get Charlie's point. But Chavanchara, that's his biggest thing. Martin O'Neill loves number 9s that can just hold you in, get your guys up the pitch, lay it off, and get into the box. He doesn't do that well, so I think Maeda might get the nod at number 9.
Was it about mentality yesterday? Rangers manager Danny Rose says no.
Well, no, I will not accept this about mentality. I think this is always easy. Everyone who played football knows during a game there's a story, there's a momentum for one team, for the second team.
And you've got to take that moment. Martin O'Neill?
First half, obviously, we were not good. We were second best. As I even said in the dressing room, not even second best. We were about fourth best. Rangers got off to a great start. They were dominating proceedings. They got the second goal, which is not a great one from our viewpoint.
But he changed it at half-time and 2 goals in the second half. What an afternoon. Charlie, have a brilliant birthday.
Thank you.
Enjoy it.
Happy birthday, Charlie.
Happy birthday.
Yes.
Hopefully you'll be back next week with us.
Yes,
Mark, you'll be back on Wednesday. Tomorrow night, Stephen O'Donnell will be here with Peter Grant. Thank you so much to everybody. See you tomorrow night.
Paul.
At 5.
Thank you.